I don't know about you, but so many thoughts have been going through my head this last couple of weeks. Life is life, isn't it? And it takes all these twists and turns that you don't expect it to take. I could feel, for instance, that when I was meant to be going to France for Christmas, that something was off, and I still booked a ticket, and that didn't happen. And I had changed the ticket because things weren't quite getting set into place in the way that was needed. There was something inside me that was just saying something's wrong. There was also something happening in my jaw where my teeth were hurting, and it transpired that an infection had taken over my face, literally. So my face was all swollen. I was in a lot of pain, and I didn't travel anywhere. And I wondered about this. Well, actually, I'll tell you what I did during Christmas. First of all, I lay in bed. I did things that I never do. It's very rare you will see me here without my mascara on, for instance, my teeth brushed and everything else. But I lay around in bed. I binge watched several magical shows like Harry Potter and, the Fantastic Beasts and stuff like that. And I sat while they were on in the background writing, 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 scribing everything that was coming up with this infected jaw and swollen face, with the pains that were coming up. I just wrote everything that everything that was coming up, all of those things I had denied, however long I'd been, brushing over them or identifying them and then doing nothing about it. All the wishes, all the fears that I had that my wishes couldn't come true, all the fears I had that life wouldn't go the way that I really wanted it to go or couldn't go that way. Reams and reams and reams of writing, releasing contracts, releasing agreements, recognizing my own shadow. Where am I comparing myself? Where do I judge myself? Whose voice is in my head? All of this stuff was coming up. So for days, that's what I did. So I allowed myself to have something that very few of us allow ourselves to have. And that was compassion for myself. That was taking away the judgmental voice and saying, off you go. I don't want to hear you. Whose voice is that anyway? Where does that voice come from that says I have to get up and do things? Where does that voice say that I need to be stoic and resilient? Words that really don't cut it with me so much. So I came to this place of compassion for myself for the first time in a long, long time. Anyway, what transpired is that the infection went down. I actually gave in and took antibiotics, and I went to the dentist to get my fridge fixed. And I cried in the dentist when they told me that the tooth had to go. And it was so symbolic. It was symbolic of, a friend of mine said to me, well, at least you got all the toxins and poisons out. And it's something right in that. It was symbolic of what I had been ignoring, the same as all of the writing that I'd done. And I never addressed what was going underneath the bridge, even though I could feel it. Same as my air ticket, see? I could feel it, yet I still spent more money to change my ticket for something that I knew I didn't want to go to, or there was going to be a reason why I couldn't go there. Life sometimes just lays you on your back. If you ignore the things that are going on, if you ignore what your body's telling you, whether it's dizziness, whether it's something sensitive in your mouth and your jaw, um, it's all giving message. And I ignored it. And I work in the world of intuition and psychism. And you don't have to be a psychic, do you, to know that your freaking tooth is hurting and it keeps coming up and swelling for a reason. My fear had stopped me from going to the dentist, is what had happened. It was fear. And I challenge you here also to recognize your fears. That's what came up in my writings also. What were my fears? What was holding me back? What am I so afraid is going to happen or not going to happen that I'm not taking the steps in the first place? So I wanted to share this with you as a help. I hope this helps you to recognize anywhere that you're ignoring yourself. Whether it's that little twinge that says this isn't going to happen or this doesn't feel right. You know, when something constricts, it's because something is not right. When it expands and you get relief from it, even if it's not the answer you want, that is the answer. So, loads of love to you all, darling. I really hope this has helped and that you can look at those areas where something may be festering and infected within the self, within the body, within the mind, within the emotions, and be brave, feel the fear, do it anyway.